Good evening, everyone. My name is Jeremy Duncan. I'm the host of the TXK State of Mind podcast. Tonight, I would like to welcome you to another special episode of our TXK Conversations. Tonight, we have another special guest. We're going to have Miss Cookie Deloney. She's the director and owner of Dynamic All-Star Cheer. She's going to be on hand with us tonight to talk about her organization, as well as talk about all the things that they have going on with their organization. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ms. Cookie Deloney to the stage. Ms. Deloney, welcome.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. When I was talking to your media director, she was talking to me about, oh, you got to get the owner on. She really needs to get out and talk about all the great things that we're doing. And I think she'll be a wonderful guest to come on and kind of talk about what Dynamic All-Star Cheer is all about and some of the upcoming events that we have going on. So tonight, I want to get started by giving you an opportunity to tell us a little bit about you and how Dynamic All-Star Cheer came about.
I am, like I said, I am it got started with my husband and myself. We started out doing Pee Wee football, and at that time we were known as the Texas County Bobcats, and we had like the sideline cheer and the little Pee Wee football players. And I think back in 2002, I went to a live all-star competition in Dallas, Texas at the old Dallas Cowboy Stadium with one of my friends, and I kind of got hooked from there. So then I'm like, well, you know what? I would like to bring this type of athletic part to Texas County to see what it looks like.
Okay, so 2002.
So we've been rolling since. Yes, been doing this a minute. Yes, sir.
So about 22 years. That's wild. So you've impacted a lot of young women, a lot of youth through your program. So what are some of the criteria or some of the things that you look for in young ladies who want to be a part of Dynamic All-Star Cheer?
Well, they don't really have to have any type of cheer experience. The coaches that I have learning all the fundamentals part of the cheerleading, so they don't have to have any experience necessary. We do like and then I look for girls that like to be role models and leaders, dedicated, and then have a love and a compassion for cheerleading and trying to create a sisterhood amongst our young ladies, ages 4 to 17.
Okay, so you actually start serving them at a younger age to help them get involved.
Yes.
How does that work? Do you get a lot of involvement from the parents, or do you kind of say, we'll take it from this point? So how does that work?
I actually do get a lot of my parents involved. I have been blessed to have some of the best parents this side of heaven that, sees the vision that I have, and they are very hardworking parents. I mean, they like to come in and they get their feet wet, and far as the training part of it, yeah, it's all pretty much my coaches, which is Whitney Hunter and Shamaje Jones. So they come in, and then we also have a lot of people that in the Dallas area, throughout Florida, that gives us all kind of insight. I have Miss Keela Putman, and I also have right here in my own town, Miss Davita High. So they all, I have so many people that play a large role in helping me help get these young girls to where they need to be.
Okay, how would you describe the identity of your organization? If I'm a new person getting want to try to learn something about, how would you describe your organization?
As the identity of it, I don't just like to do just cheer or competitive cheer. We like to do a lot of community work. We have a standing community project that we do every year with Randy Sams during the summertime, and that's when they're like in need of water. And my parents and I would go out and we collect I don't know how many cases of water to donate to Randy Sams. And then we also, do things for like the nursing home, like footies and things of that nature. But I like to teach leadership, um, guidance, and I want our girls to know that you are a role model, whether you think that you are or not. There are people out there looking at you. We just did a event this past weekend, our showcase, and Miss Bess Gamble Williams. She's a big part of helping me get the young people involved and getting them, and just something positive for them to do in the community, as well as having a safe haven to where they can come to the gym, hang out. We do, like I said, lock-ins, and we're gonna do more events at our gym this summer to help parents, have their athletes or their maybe just their kids somewhere, a place to go and hang out and learn different things.
Okay, that's great. I know when I was looking at your kind of rundown of what your organization is all about, I saw that the key focus of your program is not just cheer like you spoke about, but it's also teaching them the youth about the dynamics of having good teamwork, being dedicated, having a responsible nature, and being able to lead at all times. And I think that's one of the big things that I think our youth really need, especially in Texarkana. I know I had opportunity to speak with the founders and the creators of the Scholars and all the great things that they're doing, and then you're doing a similar thing, but in a different realm. And I think the things that you guys are doing are a lot of things that we really need for our youth to get involved and be able to want to come back to Texarkana and be able to be a contributing citizen in our space. So I give you your flowers on all the work that you and your team are doing through cheer and gymnastics to help these youth see their purpose and help them guide them towards whatever goal they have. One thing that I want to give you opportunity is for you kind of highlight some of the things that you have going on. I know you spoke about a competition that y'all just completed this past weekend, and then my research, I had opportunity to look at all the different awards and competitions that you guys have won. And so I want to give you an opportunity just to highlight all the great things that you're doing, because until I talked to Ms. Chandra, I was not aware of Dynamics All-Star Cheer. And as I start researching it, I start to realize, hey, they're doing some wonderful things with these young ladies. So I want to just talk about all the things that you're getting ready to do, how people can get involved.
Okay. We're getting ready to go to South Padre. This actually we're leaving about 4 in the morning this weekend, which will complete our season for the 2023-2024 season, and then we start our new classes on Tuesday, May the 7th. Which will get us ready for our tryouts, which will be happening on May the 23rd. So anybody that's interested and would like to bring their athlete out, they can do that on Tuesday, May the 7th, at our gym located at 835 Redwater Road in Wake Village. And to speak with our office manager, Miss Stacy Tyson, and to kind of get signed up if they're interested. And we take girls ages 4 to 17. Uh, this year, my coaches, for the first time in years, we're actually good to go to a conference in Dallas, Texas, to help us learn more about the All Star world. And like I said, most of my focus is on improving how we are running Dynamic All Stars, making the changes that we need to make to continue to make a positive impact on our athletes as well as the community. Um, it goes without saying, you have to take the good with the bad. And we've
Yes,
learned a
ma'am.
lot this season. So we're really trying to focus more on how we as an organization can improve as far as communicating with the public, doing more in the community, having more. I have an ambassador program that we
Okay.
have, and that's a selected group of young girls. And our goal this year is the first trip I would like for them to go to is Memphis to the Martin Luther King shrine and to see all things about him. And then
Okay.
the next one would be Washington, D.C. So we
Yeah. So
just so in leadership. So our ambassador is girls that are their attitude, their behavior, the dedication, teamwork, hard work, and to be dependable and reliable.
okay, that's wonderful. That those I've been to those places, and I think they're gonna have a great experience from that, just to see how things were done previously and how they could take that motto, that mantra, a person like Martin Luther King or some of our other civil rights leaders, and be able to translate that into some things
Yes,
that they want to do as up and coming leaders. With the young women that have come
yes,
through the
sir.
program, the young ladies, you started in 2002. We're in 2024. So you've impacted a lot of young ladies over this 22-year span. So what's I guess how to put it? What's some of the feedback or some of the residual that you get from these? Are they coming back to want to volunteer? Are they going on to cheer at the college level or at the high school level?
Yes, I do have a lot of my athletes that try out and make cheer at their local high school or middle school. Um, Coach Whitney Hunter actually is one of my Bobcats, and she was one of the first. So she's back coaching, and then I have Shemaje Jones. She's a coach, and she was actually an athlete. Like I said, then Miss Davita High has been with me since we were Bobcats. And like I said, then I have Miss Keela Putman, who is she's a cheer judge as well as a choreographer. And we've had several choreographers, come through that pour a lot into my program and into my athletes.
Okay, because that's really great. I'm familiar with Miss High. I believe she was like a couple years ahead of me at Texas High. I remember she was a cheerleader at Texas High, so I'm familiar with her. Um,
Yeah,
and I know there's been a lot of
yes,
transitioning from the traditional sports and activities that a lot of the youth in the community, African American, black and brown youth, they're getting involved. I know there's been a trend for our youth to move away from the traditional sports to the cheer and the gymnastics, even so much where
yes,
we just saw the young lady from Fisk University to be the first African American from HBCU to win a national championship in gymnastics. So we're seeing things like dynamic all-star
uh-huh.
expand the opportunities for our youth. So what are you saying? Has that um, entry onto this stage caused more youth in the community to want to become involved with your organization?
It has, and like I said, I have gotten so many parents inboxes, and when and they're kind of like you. They say, "Well, we didn't know that we even had this in Texarkana." And I mean, although that I've been doing it for years, uh, they inbox and they just I did not know, how do I sign up. We just recently, like I said, got over 1,000 followers on our Facebook page, but they have reached out and they are interested. We were on uh, the radio station with Mr. Billy Bland a couple of weeks
Okay,
ago. We talked about our showcase then, and that was our first community showcase that we've ever done for Texarkana, Texas. Since we started. Also, Billy just they come get confused with dance and cheer,
right.
and people get All Star Cheer mixed up with sideline cheer. So All Star Cheer is very competitive, and it's totally different from sideline cheer.
Kind of break because I'm a novice. I know nothing about cheer. I know my daughters, they used to watch the national show. I guess it was called Bring It with the lady out of Mississippi. But I'm not
Yes,
really
bring it
familiar.
on. Yes, uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm not really familiar with the difference. So what are the differences between what you do and the traditional form of cheer?
All Star Cheer is you travel and you compete against. I don't know how many teams that be in your division, and it goes against. It goes about like levels, and if you can back handspring, cartwheel, round out, back tuck, and that depends. And sideline cheer, they do stunt and they just do like regular chants and cheers, where we dance and compete with music, and it's kind of like you tumble, you stunt, you have a dance portion of it, and you have a tumbling portion of it, and then you do this in front of a panel of I don't know how many judges, and then they score you, and then that determines your placement, first, second, third. Maybe you don't place at all. So we are under the umbrella of USASF, which is the United
Okay.
States All-Star Cheer Federation. So we have to follow their guidelines as well as the event, the Open Championship.
Okay. So I know you say you have your season is getting ready to close for this year. So what's the season like? How does it? How long does the season run? And what are some of the things that parents can do to assist you while you're getting ready to prepare for this next season?
But it's really year round. We compete 5 to 6 times a year, and that just depends on if you get a bid to Worlds or Prep Grand Nationals, and then through the summer we train from like from May all the way up until choreography time, which normally for us is around October, and then that is where we have someone that comes in and teach the athletes a 2 minute routine, or depending on the
Okay.
level, a minute and a half routine, and then they get ready to do that. They learn that, and we just practice and we teach. The coaches work on, like I said, the fundamentals of cheering. The stunts, the tumbling, the dance portion of it, but it's kind of much year round, and we train, like from January to January, so to speak. So we train year round.
Okay. Man, that's a lot. I know you got to have a really strong adults and coaches to help you out for that longer time with youth. I know just having worked in different youth organizations, I know it takes some people that are really good with kids and have a passion for it to be able to help them achieve their fullest potential. I know one of the passions that you talked about uh, within your guest bio is that you talked about that you like to teach the youth about the importance of not bullying and the aspect of bullying. Talk a little bit
Yes,
about
yes.
that aspect of your organization.
With USASF, each owner and coach, as well as the athletes, have to take a pledge, and they give you a certain script of things that you can and cannot do that they consider bullying. And with our young people today, they can say stuff and not realize that that's
Right,
hurtful. So I want my gym wide. I need my athletes to know that we're we've been taught. Words don't hurt, but they do. So
right. They
you
do.
never know, depending on what a person is going through, and kids, can they can be mean, they can say stuff indirectly without realizing that that is hurting that person that you just spoke about. So I'm trying my best, and it's hard, but
Yes, ma'am.
I'm reaching out to different people. Best Gamble is one of them, about trying to promote anti-bullying. That means, if
Right,
speaking kindly, using your words nicely, being a sisterhood, being a leader, being friendly, kind, and things of that nature. And then the only way to do that is through teaching and lessons, talking, having team events such as bonding activities, that we can do at the gym. We go out, maybe we call it a girls' night out, with maybe bowling, anything positive to get those girls so they can learn to be one. And
right,
unity is a big thing for me. Togetherness is being as one, so you can just teach kids how to act. And not saying that parents aren't, it's just that today's youth are,
right.
how do I put it, they are, it's so much that they see, that
Yeah,
we
a little bit
didn't
more,
see
a
when we were
little bit more
growing up.
advanced. Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, they're a
They're
little bit
supposed to a
more
lot
advanced
more.
than we are. Yes, sir. So bullying and but like I said, just kind of like a sorority type, if you want to
Right.
say. I just want them to be like a sisterhood. I want them to learn to lean on one another, and I want them to know that this is your sister for life. So who knows, when you grow up, when you graduate high school and you go somewhere, you may you can reach back to that friend that was your cheer sister, and you may end up going to college and pledging, and y'all could be on the same, be in the same sorority groups. And I just want them to learn how to love one another as Christ has loved us.
Yes, ma'am. I think the mentorship that you're providing these young ladies is second to none, and it's a testament of all the wars that you guys have garnered to this point. I know just from my experience with mentorship and being involved in mentorship programs and being exposed to a positive role model at an early age, dating back to when I was in elementary through junior high, that played a significant role in how I was groomed to this point. You know, the things that I got involved in, the activities that I got involved in, it was more geared towards the positive things as opposed to me getting involved in the things that were going on. I grew up in Texarkana in the 90s, living in Beverly and the height of the gang situation. And so having that opportunity to have a positive mentor like what you're doing with your organization
You're
with this
right.
young, it helped me get to where I'm at, where I am, from graduating, going off to college and get a master's, and excelling in the career that I have right now within the federal system. So I think, and no, I know the work that you're doing is really needed, is valued, it's required. We often see a lot of things in the news about our youth either getting losing their lives a little bit too early than what they should, or getting involved in activities
Yes.
that will, and to see things like dynamic all-star cheer, to see things like the scholars, to look at all the things that the city is trying to do to revitalize our community, our both sides. It's gonna be needed because our youth are gonna be the ones that drive the redevelopment of our
Yes.
community and be able to grow. So again, I'm gonna give you your flowers again because again, I didn't know, but now I know. I feel like I was a novice before I came and started talking to you, and I feel like I'm an intermediate now because I know a little bit more about cheer and all the things that you do, and it's and
Yes. And
cheer
like
like
I
what.
said, I'm still learning. I'm still learning.
Yes, ma'am. I think everything that I learned in football and sports and cheer and everything that you do is a sport. They have to exert a lot of energy and a lot of time and commitment. And you guys are doing a wonderful thing for our youth in this community. And I applaud you for having the 4-year-olds because I started out working as a Head Start director. I know those little people can be a lot. so 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 I applaud you for
Yes, but
starting
they the
early,
cutest
early.
little thing, and they
Yes,
have so much energy.
yes, ma'am.
Yes,
And
sir.
they'll remember you for a long time. I still see kids that I had the opportunity to either have in the Head Start facility that when I was running when I lived in Arkansas, or the ones that I impacted while I was working at the high school level and the college level. And they'll come up to me and say, "Hey, Mr. Duncan," and I have to look at the face, and then I have to remember. I'm like, and then they're either in
Yeah,
college or they're
and you
starting
know
their
what?
own
And they do
careers.
my husband that way.
Right.
Right.
So again, so
Yes,
we
sir.
just applaud you on everything you're doing. And I know a part of our platform is like when we come on and we have people to kind of showcase, to kind of spotlight. We're going to be a champion for your organization as well. Like anytime you post anything, anytime you have an event, we're going to make sure that we're growing as well, just as well as your organization. But we're going to make sure our followers and our people and our connections are knowledgeable about what you're doing and the things that you may need to help your organization continue to grow. With that in mind, um, I know everything costs. You need resources to help you keep doing what you need to get your teams to the competitions, the hotel, the food. Um,
Yes,
how do you go about
yes.
keeping all
Hmm.
that going?
Well, parents do their part. We offer different types of fundraisers for the parents to have a chance to have a community member or their family member, maybe to donate to go towards their athletes' expenses, because yes, All-Star Cheer is expensive,
Yes.
and it's and uniforms and competition fees, choreography, paying the coaches, paying, keeping our facility up and running. But it's expensive, but for the most part, we ask a lot for the parents to ask their family and friends and community members to help them with their athlete. And I'm blessed to have a husband to like put the bill 90%
Yes,
of
ma'am.
it, for the facility and to keep
Right.
it going. So like I just said, one day God will bless me with possibly a major sponsor or whoever the case may be. But right now my heartbeat is my husband, who believes in what I do, allow me to do what I do, and
Right.
he just take care of what he needs to take care of, so we can have a place for those young girls to have a place to call home outside of home.
That's right. That's right. We got to get him on next time so we can give him some flowers too. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I know I know I hit you on for a while, but like I said, I want to give you an opportunity just to spotlight all the great things you're doing. Like I said, I had an opportunity to go online and kind of research, but having the chance to talk with you ahead of time and talk with Chandra, giving me another a window into all the great things that we're doing in Texarkana. I often tell people that I drive around town a lot. I drive around town and I look at
Right. Yes, sir.
how things used to be when I was growing up, and I visualize how things can be again for our youth. So my goal is to highlight what you're doing,
And
to get with the city officials to say, hey,
I appreciate it.
these
Thank
people
you.
these people are doing this, and see how we can put in more programs to support small organizations like yourself so you can grow. Again, my last question is, you've been around for 22 years. In your next 20
Hmm.
years, what do you want Dynamic All-Star Cheer to be? What's your vision for the next 20 years of your organization? Or even 5 years down the road? How do you want it to be?
Wow. Well, without saying my age, I will say I am 61. So my prayer and my goal is that someone will take the reign and keep it going, to keep our young people involved, keep them doing something positive, um, keep just having a place for the young ladies to, like I said, to have a place to call home outside of home. And
Right,
God has shown me the vision, and over the next 5 years, I can say my vision and my goal is to have at least 300 athletes in my program, and
wow,
to so going about doing that, so that's my goal. And like I said, I can say without a doubt, God has shown me that vision, and he has shown my gym where we are now, that we actually outgrew it. So
right,
I'm trying to, I stay in constant prayer with him and asking him to lead and guide me. Like I said, I don't know everything, uh, and I do reach out to people that are expert in this field and
right.
to help. And I have a couple of lady friends here that they have a successful gym, Twin City All Stars and Jonies. I admire what they do as well. So it's just a lot of things that we would, just something to keep our youth busy, something to keep them positive, having fun, being positive off the street. And like I said, as you know, reaching one athlete at a time. And
Yes, ma'am.
there's, like I said, there's no certain skill that they need to have to be a part of the program, other than I want them to come in and accept our mission statement, and accept the rules and the guidelines of the program, to make sure that they are doing things that are positive with them themselves as well as towards their teammate.
Yes, ma'am. Well, Mr. Aloni, this has been a great conversation. You taught me a lot. I'm glad I had the opportunity to meet you and kind of get a chance to go into your world for a short period of time. I really appreciate that. We're going
Yes,
to
sir.
have all, for
I
everybody
thank you
that's
for having
listening.
me.
Yes, ma'am. Anytime, anytime. I hope to come out to your facility one day to one of your competitions and get that live and kind of display what you guys are doing actually on the live scene. So we'll get together and we'll get that set up. But I want to kind of let everyone know
That
as
would be
this
wonderful. Yes, sir. Thank
yeah,
you.
as the show ends, we're going to have all the information about Dynamic All Star Cheer in the credits, the contact information, the events that are coming up. Uh, Replay it, get their information. If you have a young niece, daughter, granddaughter that you think would be a benefit to them to get involved in this organization, reach out to Ms. Deloney and her team to get them set up. I think you'll be really pleased with the outcome and the results. Like I said, I've looked at your gym. I've looked at the Facebook page and all things you're doing, and I'm really impressed by all the things that you've done over these past years. So again, everyone, another great conversation. Before we go, I want to let everyone know that with our survey that we did a couple weeks ago, we're starting to generate more content for our viewers, for our followers, our subscribers. Coming up this month, we're going to be hosting a new show. It's going to be a live on location show called Food is Love TXK, where I'm going to be going out to the different restaurants and looking at their menus, tasting some of their food, if my wife allows me to eat some of those things, and just highlighting some of the foodie spots that we have in the community, whether it's a food truck, a local business, a new business coming open, a coffee shop. I want to be able to showcase all the things that we're doing positive and all the things that are allowing Texarkana to have that rebirth, so to speak. So look out for that. We've already talked with a few guests that are going to be coming on. Our first episode is going to air next week. We'll start advertising soon for that. I'll do my location video shots next week, and then we'll air it on Thursday evenings. So again, thank you for another opportunity for us to come into your homes tonight to have another great conversation. As always, what's your TXK state of mind? Thank you again.